Sacred imagery is extremely important, and the yogis know this. Thoughts are things. Forms are things. We call them thought forms. They have a vibration. So when we see them, that vibration, which is ultimately a state of consciousness, can arise in the mind. Because everything we see is really inside us. That is, the image is inside us. So it's like a thought. It's a vibration. Therefore, sacred imagery is extremely important. And the yogis know this. The ignoramus does not know it and says, oh, idolatry is terrible and materialistic and so on. Yes. Well, let them go and grumble into their beards. But the truth is, form and thought and consciousness are interrelated. So, first I want to show you something I think is extremely beautiful. This is an image of Vishnu, the preserver, the one who incarnates in the form of what we call avatars, and is, in a sense, the embodiment of love and mercy. Now we think of that usually as the mother's province, and I have something to show you relating to that. This, I think, is absolutely marvelous. This is an image of the goddess Durga, the mother aspect of God. Her hands are holding various forms. For example, there's a trident, there's an axe. In other words, these are emblems of war, of battle, because she is Shakti, she is power, and she is the power of goodness and righteousness in us. Then on the other hand, you see a lotus, you see food, and she's also the mother of material benefit. And this is quite significant, it's very meaningful, and it's very real. The gods are real. They are not symbols. Their forms are symbolic. That's true. Because the gods are themselves divine consciousness. And divine consciousness is not visible. Therefore, this consciousness, to communicate with us, takes on form. And we return the compliment, in a sense, by utilizing these forms to tune in to what is essentially formless. It's like therapy. It's a means by which the inconceivable is conceived, or the intangible is actually, though, touched and made a very real and present force in our consciousness. They're not idols. They are signatures of the divine presence in the world. But these things are very important because thoughts are things and things are thoughts. Now you see behind me, there's Ganesha, the remover of obstacles. He's not mythological, he's real and existent. Next to him, there was a very small depiction of the goddess Durga. And then also, Durga is on the other side of me there with the lion, with courage. The real spiritual force goes forth. These things are very valuable, and they have a vibration. And whether we see them or not, they have a presence. So behind me, you see all kinds of depictions. They're all there, and they all are gateways, means to communication with what they depict. Anandamayi Ma is very, very real. She didn't die. How would she die? She was never born. She said, I neither come nor go, meaning she was always present. Next to her, up here above me, you see, there's her mother, Swami Nirmalananda Giri, whose greatness was and is incalculable. So, here in this room, there are many presences. They're not just reminders, they're not symbols, they're presences of the divine. According to our vibration, according to our basic bhava, psychic state, they may manifest. I remember well when I was living next door to Self-Realization Fellowship in Hollywood years ago. People were speaking about how they had photographs of the masters honored by Self-Realization Fellowship. And they found that when they put them in their meditation place and they meditated, that there were times when it was as if the eyelids were closing and opening, or the lips were even moving. And they thought, well, is it something with my eyes? And they asked Sister Mira about that. Sister Mira was one of Yoganandaji's very close disciples that lived in the ashram for many years, and she was the director of the Hollywood Center. And she said, no, that Yogananda said, the astral bodies of masters manifest wherever someone meditates. In other words, just as meditation imparts life to us, spirit life, so even the objects around the meditator begin to take on a living aspect. So don't be surprised if they move, if they smile. And don't be surprised if they don't, because what we need, we get. What we don't need, we don't get. All right?